Welcome back to another week of Access Hollywood's Housewives Nightcap. Guys, we don't have one guest. We have two guests, and one of them is the Kyle Richards because, the reunion was insane, the first episode, and she's going to break down the other 3 episodes left. And Emily, tell them about our second guest.
Our second guest is the author of the new Bravo book. It's called Not All Diamonds and Rosé. It's by Dave Quinn. He interviewed every housewife, you guys. The book is so good. Keep watching and you can hear from Dave.
But first, Kyle, we're going to talk about reunion, and we're also going to talk about her very important partnership with Susan G. Komen. So take it away.
We both watched Halloween and I loved seeing you act. Like, it was so great.
Thank you. Thank you so much. It's so fun to be back on the big screen and doing what I love to do most, which is acting. So it's just been so exciting. I'm so happy.
But what was scarier, Halloween or this reunion?
They're both scary in their own way. Let me tell you. The reunion is just emotionally draining, where you are so exhausted. The stress going into it is beyond. I've had way worse reunions for me personally, where I'm like, how can I get out of this? How can I get out of this? I've basically had to have been dragged to get there. This was not my most difficult reunion. I think that, we know who had the hardest time this year. That was Erika, obviously. But Michael Myers, there's nothing like being chased by Michael Myers with a knife through a forest in the middle of the night. So that's terrifying.
Do you think overall, though, Kyle, that this season, because it's been hard for all of you ladies, I would imagine, in doing press and talking about Erika, everyone wants to know details and you can only share so much. Has that been more of a challenge just because Erika's legal troubles have garnered so much attention?
Well, it is. And, we just don't know anything. And then, it's people are confused. We were confused. And, people are so quick to rush to judgment with Erika and, her story was confusing. Well, I look at it differently because I know that sometimes when you're nervous and the cameras are there and you're talking about something that you're stressed to talk about, you can sometimes say something that may not make all that much sense. So, I'm seeing it through a different lens than the average viewer, let's say. So, when I'm thinking of Erika with the car accident, this and that, yeah, maybe going through her mind, she's thinking, well, I'm talking about Tom, who didn't sign up for this. He's not doing it well right now. He's a lawyer. Who knows what's going through her head, So it is confusing. It is stressful. It's stressful for her. It's stressful for all of us. People are thinking that she knows things, that maybe we knew things. We didn't know anything. We didn't know things till the LA Times article came out that day when we were on camera in La Quinta at my home. So it's been challenging, no doubt.
It does seem, though, that Andy, especially this first episode, we still have 3 more episodes, but it does seem that Andy, he asks the questions. He is not holding back with the questions.
Absolutely. He has to. He knows what the audience is expecting, and they had a lot of questions and he's trying to get the answers for them. So, and that's what makes it so difficult for Erika, obviously, but she showed up. She did not, she showed up and she answered the questions. And I think that the audience will be, happy that she addressed I know there were a lot of questions that I was surprised that she answered, that there was clarity for. So I think the audience is going to be happy and entertained.
You had so many great reactions that first episode. So they were panning to you and they were great. Kyle, they were great.
I get so nervous and I do not have a good poker face and I couldn't even talk sometimes, honestly. I just get like, this is another thing that I've actually was just thinking about the other day. Sometimes I'm quiet. I keep a lot in because I have anxiety. And in those moments,
right,
so much anxiety. And sometimes I think, I should have said this. I should have said that. But guys, I have anxiety and I get really stressed. And sometimes it's all too much.
It can be it's overwhelming to watch at times. So I understand, why you feel that way.
Yes. There's times when I watch the show and I think, why didn't I say this there? Why didn't I say that? You know why? Because I was bordering on having a panic attack and I was getting really anxious. And, I'm not trying to overuse that term, but I really do have anxiety. And sometimes those situations I get really anxious and then I end up just keeping it in. And then I look at my face and I'm like, oh my gosh, this is so embarrassing. But hey, that, it is what it is.
So because Erika wasn't happy with what Mauricio and Dorit and PK were, chatting about. Where do you guys stand now? Are you communicating?
Well, she wasn't really talking to me before the reunion. And I knew that going into it. And then I was like reading things online and I was like, and some things you read are true, some are not true. But I was like, yeah, no, I'm not really getting messages. So I knew that part was true. And I understood why. She's expecting the people that know her and care about her and that she's been a good friend to be there for her. So that stuff really hurt her. And I understood that. And I knew when we filmed that scene that was going to be hurtful for her. The thing is, it's like that typical when you're in church and something happens, you're not supposed to laugh and you do. PK makes me laugh, and sometimes he says things that are not appropriate or necessarily right or wrong, whatever people may say, but he made me laugh, and then my husband laughed, and then it was like we're like dominoes, we're all like just going down. And I remember thinking, oh no, she's going to be so upset when she sees this. I just but then
I know, but honestly, you've been such a good friend. Like, you really have been there for her. And this is a sticky situation here. So I don't know that it was so bad. I really don't.
Well, I don't think it was
saying, how could you be, I wasn't defending her. I was just supporting her because I don't know the details, but I had the audience kind of thinking I was doing too much, and I had her thinking I wasn't doing enough. And I was like, this is a lose-lose for the cast. It really was.
It is. Absolutely.
So, at the end of the day, I have to live with myself, and Erika has been nothing but a kind, supportive, thoughtful friend to me. I've never known her to be a liar. So I have to go off that. The people that are against her are the people that have never met her in real life or spent time with her. So I have to sleep with myself and live with myself at the end of the day. So,
yeah.
So is it safe to say that the two of you are better now?
We worked through our things at the reunion. Yes.
Good.
Okay, well, we're teasing then. So we still have 3 more episodes because we can't.
I guess I'm not supposed to say, but I'm happy to say that we have worked through those things.
Yeah.
Okay.
We see Kathy come in. We love Kathy, and she's so much fun as usual. But then we see a teaser for the upcoming episode. She kind of breaks down, which is like horrible to watch. What can you tell us, if you can tell us, of why she got upset?
My sister is someone who holds a lot in, and she's a very emotional person, but she holds a lot in. Mm-hmm. And something came up about our mom, and she just lost it. And then she felt so uncomfortable because of the cameras, and she just kind of like turned away. And it was a very intense, emotional moment. I think everybody kind of like lost it at that moment. Mm-hmm. She holds a lot in about our mom, so whenever she gets like that, it really gets us like both going.
Yeah, right. Especially your relationship too, because you guys you're at a great place, but you also have this past season talked about the past. Now, do you think she'll come back? Because obviously we love her. It's so fun with you guys, especially the two of you. Do you think she'll come back next season?
I hope so. We had a lot of fun, and it's so nice to be, we were always so close, and it was just a shame that, we went through that difficult time that we went through. And I'm just so happy to be in a good place again and to have so much fun with her on the show. I mean, we make each other laugh so much. I mean, some of those clips where I'm literally doubled over, dying laughing. And then we'd watch the show, and then we'd call each other laughing all over again, watching it. So, I think it was really good for her. She had never even been on a girls' trip. And even though there were, arguments or drama, I'm getting anxious and stressed. And I think she low-key was like, this is fun. I'm loving this. She's like getting along with everybody no matter what. And she was just like, oh my gosh, what's happening here?
So great.
Kyle, do you like, not, I don't want you to go anywhere, but now that acting is rearing up, like, how long do you foresee yourself doing this show?
Well, NBC, Universal, Bravo, Peacock, they've all been good to me. And they've allowed me to kind of work around this and do both. And, you know, I love my NBC Universal family, and I love my cast and my crew. I mean, when I think about it, sometimes it can really get me emotional. I mean, really, I mean, that is like a trigger for me. I love the cast. I love my crew. They've been with my kids since I'm a baby. These women, and I learned this in doing the Real Housewives Ultimate Girls Trip, we support each other like no other cast does. I'm talking about our current cast of the past few years.
Yeah, I was about to say.
No, I'm talking about the current cast of the past few years. I mean, I'm so excited for Lisa Rinna with her lip launch or Rinna Beauty. I mean, every makeup artist I work with uses her stuff. It's amazing. Dorit with her wedding. I mean, everybody. I mean, they're all really smart, successful. We love each other. We support each other. We lean on each other. I mean, today I was on the cover of the calendar section, the LA Times. I have all of the housewives texting me, I love you, I'm proud of you. And they genuinely, they mean it, you know?
Yeah.
And I don't see other shows doing that. And they're really my sisters in a different way. And it would be very hard. So until I can't handle it, I guess I'll be here a little while.
You're not going anywhere. We don't want you to go anywhere, and you're not going anywhere. Because are you guys starting filming soon? I don't know if you know. I mean, you would know more than us.
I don't know. I mean, you know.
You're like,
I know that there were cameras at
This is
Portia's
file.
I know there were cameras at Portia's bar, but I always mix it up. Mitzvah, but I think you said that was for something else, right? So
those are my own cameras.
okay. I just wanted to document a proud mama.
Maybe a Richard spinoff is happening. I don't know.
Oh my God.
People really, the fans of the show really, really want to see the three sisters together.
Really want to see.
Well, with going out in public again, she's still freaked out about, even though first she kept saying, I have to wait until there's a vaccine. And now she still gets anxious. You know, when people spend a lot of time at home like this, a lot of people still now are freaked out about crowds. And I totally get it. Even I'm a little bit funny about that. Now when I go into a room with a lot of people and people now are like coming up for a hug, or I find myself like, oh, I'm still doing this. I'm like, people think I'm rude. I'm like, it's
no, you have to do what you're comfortable.
Yeah. I got to get Kim comfortable with that. And then, you know, hopefully we're going to all do something together.
Fingers crossed. Fingers crossed.
Sisters together doing something. Yes.
You are doing it all. You are also working alongside, I don't want to say it wrong, Wacoal.
Wacoal. I know. Trust me. I always say like Wacoal.
Okay.
Wacoal. I know we were.
Yes.
And Susan G. Komen, which is obviously an organization that is very close to your heart. Why did you want to work with them?
Well, you know, I lost my mother to breast cancer almost 20 years ago. And Wacoal has partnered with Susan G. Komen, and they've given over $5.8 million to breast cancer research. So each year, twice a year, they do this Fit for a Cure, where every time a woman goes in to be fit for a bra, they will donate $2 to breast cancer research, the Susan G. Komen Foundation. You don't even have to buy one. So, and if you do buy one, they'll donate an additional $2. So anyway, it's just an amazing way to be able to shop for a cause. And, you know, for me to be able to use my platform and to talk about this during Breast Cancer Awareness Month is so important to me. You know, as a reminder, not only to get your mammograms, but, you know, if you can give back when you can, and, you know, to help breast cancer research. You know, we don't want to see another mom, daughter, wife, friend, sister go through something like that.
No, it's so important. And I vividly remember that Real Housewives of Beverly Hills episode, like last season or the season before, where you got your mammogram. And that I was watching that with my mom. My mom's like, wait, I need to go get my mammogram. So it was such you started a conversation that, you know, you're using this platform, not only for housewives and all this stuff, but you're using it for really important topics.
Well, actually, you know, from that episode, a number of people messaged me saying that because of that episode, they went and got a mammogram. And one woman had said that they've actually found a lump and they caught it in time and it saved her life. So you know, reality television can be a very scary place at times, daunting at times, but it's moments like that that really make me happy that I'm able to, you know, use the platform for the better. And, you know, just here today talking about this is so important. And I really hope that people listen to this and, you know, go out there and get their mammograms and go out there and buy their Wacoal bras or go and get fitted. It's just so important. And I also want to say that there's also an event in LA. You know, I'm talking locally for me here, but there's at the Sherman. I'm reading this. Sorry, guys. October 21st, Bloomingdale's at Sherman Oaks. There's an event, and October 22nd at Macy's at the Topanga Plaza. That's just here locally, but you can check and see where there's one in your area.
Yeah, and also you can donate to Susan G. Komen or buy your bra right at for Wacoal. So
one of my favorite bras, I think they call it the red carpet strapless, because I don't know, you know, as women, we know that a strapless bra, I usually end up with it around my waist.
Worse.
This is the best strapless bra, hands down, I swear to you, the Wacoal strapless red carpet bra, the best. So.
All right, Emily, Kyle was great. She's fantastic. I can't wait for those 3 next episodes. So let's talk to Dave.
So happy, not all diamonds and rosé, yay.
Is it not all diamonds and rosé though, Dave? Because, you know, us viewers over here, we like to think it is.
Yeah, it is not all diamonds and rosé. It is real stuff for them. They are going through some hard things. And again, that's what I'm hopeful that viewers are pulling out of the book when they read it, because it truly, you learn what they're dealing with behind the scenes all the time.
This is really like a housewife dictionary. Like, I feel like you can look up any moment in time and really live it again.
Yeah, it's wild. We went through every single franchise up until Salt Lake City, and each one gets their own chapter, and we pretty much go chronologically through all the things that we've experienced. So as you'll be reading, housewives will be coming and going. You'll be reliving moments back in the Simon and Alex days, the Slade and Joe. I mean, it is like really just recalling all those classic housewives moments.
Now, you have to tell us, how did you get involved in this? Because this seems like the creme de la creme kind of job.
Well, I have been lucky to be working as an entertainment journalist for a long time. I've been writing for publications like People Magazine and Entertainment Weekly, covering the Bravo beat, amongst other things, in reality TV and Broadway and all other sorts of beats. And, you know, I just had a conversation with Bravo. They were interested in saying, if you were to write a Bravo book, what would you want it to look like? And we had some communication about that and started speaking with Andy, and he was really the one who was like, I think an oral history is the right way to approach this, and modeled it off of great oral histories in the past that have been written about, you know, Saturday Night Live and Must See TV and various other things like that. So that's the approach that we took. And I thought it was perfect, because I keep saying this is a book about feelings, not necessarily about facts. So you're going to see a lot of women expressing their feelings, and often those conflict with their recollection of the situation. It's fun to watch.
It's so funny though. Like, it's really funny. It's almost like an episode in one.
Yes.
Who is your favorite person to interview out of all the ladies and Andy and executives?
I mean, for me, the executives were the best interviews, hands down, because of course I've had the pleasure in my career of speaking to a lot of the housewives before. So I knew what it would be like to talk to Margaret Josephs. I knew what it would be like to talk to Giselle and Candace and Robin and all of the incredible housewives. But I have never spoken to, you know, Doug Ross and Alex Baskin. I've never spoken to Matt and Nate, who were so instrumental in the Real Housewives of Miami, or Lisa Shannon from the Real Housewives of New York City. Like, learning about those folks and how they perceive things, that was for sure the best. And I can't wait for names like Lucilla and Carlos King to just be like household names for all the Housewives fans.
So good. Okay. Without giving too much away, because we want people to read the book, what was the most revealing thing that is exposed?
Okay, so there was a moment in the Real Housewives of New Jersey where they went on a vacation to the Dominican Republic. We all saw the beautiful vacation. After the cameras went down, something really big happened that none of us know about, that it hasn't been shown, hasn't been reported officially. And I got them all to spill the tea on what really, really went down behind the scenes. And it's a fascinating story. So that for me was one of the big things. There's a lot of them, of course, that I was like, oh my goodness. And you'll note in the book, a lot of the women say, I don't think I'm supposed to tell you this, because they're so used to not having to talk about it. It's great.
That was wild. It is a wild story. And it's crazy
wild.
that it's the first time it's really been laid out there and told.
Yeah, I mean, I think people have assumed things, or there's been like gossip reporting about it, but it's never been anybody on the record. So you'll love that.
So were there any topics that were like off the limits, or did you just go in and you could ask anything?
Literally, I could ask anything, and I would remind them that over and over again. Like, you can tell me whatever you want. It doesn't go here. I am a vault. So they told me everything. No topics off limit. No questions that I couldn't ask. I didn't send anybody questions beforehand. So really, I got to ask whatever I wanted. There was no preparations. And the housewives are as off the cuff as you can be, for sure. So they told all.
Who was the most fun interviewing? I know you said you've interviewed them, so like all of them in the past. You're an entertainment reporter, but I feel like they would have to be a little bit more comfortable in this kind of setting as well.
Oh yeah, they got very comfortable, and the one who got the most comfortable was Heather Thompson from the Real Housewives of New York City. She actually took a bubble bath while we were talking. So she was like, do you mind if I take a bubble bath? And she full on took a bubble bath. And of course, I mean, it wasn't over Zoom. Don't worry. It was all just over the phone. But the fact that I was talking to Heather Thompson and she was telling me about, fighting with Luann behind the scenes and Turks and Caicos or wherever the heck they were, and knowing that she was in a bubble bath was just like an added level of what is my life. And that's what I want to let you guys know. Like, I am a super fan of the Housewives, and I've told you both, a super fan of both of you. I watch the show all the time.
Aw, that's
So
sweet.
honored to be here. But like, literally, there's not a moment that I'm not pinching myself when I look at my phone and, Lisa Rinna is calling, or I look down at my phone and Vicky Gunvalson's on the other end. It's so exciting. So I was thrilled to be on the phone with Heather Thompson while she was taking a bubble bath, a very intimate moment we shared.
Yeah.
Thank you so much, Dave. Where can people follow you? And the book is out on the 19th. Give us the plug.
Yeah.
Okay, so the book, Not All Diamonds and Rosé, which I'm going to hold up again and just point to you guys how thick it is. This is like a heavy, thick
It's
book.
a dictionary.
I cannot believe how big it is. So that is going to be available on Tuesday, and you guys can follow me. I'm on Twitter and Instagram at the same handle. It's 9Daves, NINEDAVES, because I'm always in 9 different places at the same time. So come join me.